It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer, and I am super excited to bring you today's beer. It cost me £1.79 in Lidl. It's been exclusively brewed for Lidl. And this might, I mean, what a name in British brewing. If you ever want to think about, or if you ever think about a good quality, solid UK brewery, craft brewery, then look no further than Thornbridge. I've always been a massive fan. When I seen this, I thought, wow, super excited for this one. It's called Kakawa. It's a chocolate stout, and it's 4.5% ABV in a 440 milliliter can. But yeah, how exciting to see a Thornbridge beer exclusively brewed for Lidl. Let's get the beer out into a glass and see what we get. A little bit of smoke on the can opening. Now, Brewdog have a cocoa, it's called Cocoa Wonderland actually. I've had a few flavoured beers from Thornbridge over the years. I remember one beer, picked it up in the supermarket, and it tasted like really fresh peanuts. And it was terrific. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. I actually like Cocoa Wonderland. I think that's a great beer as well. You can pick that up in one of the bigger supermarkets out there. Well, let's just say probably Tesco's, Morrison's, that sort of thing. But to have a beer exclusively brewed for Lidl and be £1.79, not £3, not £3.50, not £4, but £1.79, that's nearly half the price of a £3 can of craft beer. Jet black beer in the glass, 2-finger tan coloured head. We've reviewed, this is our fourth and final beer of the new Lidl craft beer range, permanent range, which I think is very good. Is very good. If we get round to it, we'll talk about kind of Lidl's dabblings with craft beers, because they've done different things. They've done a lot of kind of like seasonal beer festivals, craft beer festivals. But this feels a little bit more solid. This feels a little bit more permanent. Like every single week. Not once every 3 months, but every single week you can go and buy a Thornbridge beer, or a Magic Rock beer, or a 4 Pure, or a Harbour Brewing Company beer in Lidl. So let's get the aroma then on this tan coloured head. It's 4%, 4.5% ABV, brewed with lactose. Yeah. Lovely aroma. A little bit of roasted malt coming through. A little bit of chocolate, coffee, caramel. Touch of vanilla. You do get a hint of that lactose, but it's not overpowering. Hazelnut, a certain nuttiness coming through in the aroma. But it smells really good. It does. Really good. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Yeah, I could get along with that. I'm going to be fair to the beer. Kakawa, of course. Cacao is the chocolate that they use to brew beer. Raw I brewed imperial stouts myself in the past, and we use Kakawa, and it's a kind of raw form of cocoa. A very nice name for the beer as well. I wanted to give the beer the full opportunity now. I've had a good mouthful of the beer, but I wanted to pour, if there was any sediment in the beer that was going to make a difference, I've poured it into the glass now, so I'm really able to get a better sense of the mouthfeel. Do you know, I'm going to put this down. I'm going to put this down. I'm going to say stone the crows. Stone the crows. Thornbridge Brewery have been brewing fantastic beer in the UK for a number of years. In fact, they were one of the very first craft brewers in the UK, along with Otley Brewing Company in Pontypridd, South Wales. They were like two of the very first, or one of the very first craft breweries in the UK. They've produced some terrific beer over the years, some super excited beers. When you go to beer festivals, you hit the Thornbridge stand, you drink their beer. It's terrific. Jaipur, fantastic beer, really fantastic beer that I first tried and loved, and then was available to buy in Waitrose. I mean, that was just superb back then. Them days were fantastic. They've then produced beers for other supermarkets, Morrison's, Tesco's, Asda. You know, you can buy Jaipur in every single one of these supermarkets now. But it leads you into experience. So Thornbridge are balancing here. They're balancing their reputation on one hand as being one of the fantastic kind of very respectable British breweries in the country, I feel. And they're balancing that with value. And they've kind of done this. They've kind of looked at each hand, value over here, and their brand over here, their reputable brand over here. And they've gone, we are going to use every single ounce of our brewing experience here to pull a cat out of the bag, literally. This is sitting on the shelf in Lidl for £1.79 as of March 2023. It'll be April by the time, it'll be April the 1st tomorrow, ironically, by the time I post this. But they have literally used every single ounce of their experience to pull this beer out of the bag. It's roasty, it's toasty. There's some roasted malt in there. They've used lactose, which is a relatively cheap product to use, but they're able to kind of cling to some kind of mouthfeel with a stout. A stout for me has to have a medium mouthfeel. Thornbridge have they've used lactose, but yeah, it has a mouthfeel. It definitely does. The mouthfeel is not lacking in this stout. There's touches of vanilla, there's roasted malt in there, there's some cacao, there's some chocolate in there. This is, along with the Magic Rock beer that's also in Lidl, the hazy pale ale that's in Lidl from Magic Rock, which I thought, again, for £1.79, terrific value for money. It puts a bit of a smile on my face, it really does. And I'll tell you why. It's really good, it's really good. Now, I promised to talk about, let's start off the latter conversation. So I'm a Lidl shopper. I use the app, I use the barcode, I scan it at the till, I get 10% off every single month for hitting the target of spending £200 a month in Lidl. That, as of 2023, that's the offer. Spend £200 or £250 a month in Lidl, you get 10% off your shopping bill. On average, over the month, that's £25, isn't it? That's about, well, no, it's not actually. It's 10% off one bill. So generally I'm spending about 80 quid a week in Lidl. It's my weekly shop. I buy all my vegetables, my baguettes, my meat, cheese, butter, everything that's in this household comes from Lidl. I'm a big Lidl shopper. I get to the beer aisle and I know what's good. I know I can pick up some of their Pilsners and it's good. I can pick up some of their Weiss beers, which a lot of you often see on the Stone Crow Virtual Pub. I'll drink their Perlenbacher Patronus Weiss beer, literally nearly every single Friday. I really enjoy it for the price point. It's really cheap. But up until now, the craft beer's been a bit sketchy. I'll go a little bit, you know, or I won't bother with it. I might buy some of their Pilsners. I might buy, I buy a lot of their Weiss beer. I love their Weiss beer. Now, I'm able to go, I'll have a couple of your decent German Pilsners, being a great German supermarket. I'll have some of your great German Weiss beer, being a German supermarket. But now I can get some great British Pale Ale. And I can buy some great British Stout. And that just almost completes the full circle for me. I like Stout, I like Pale Ales, I like Weiss beer, and of course I like Pilsners. So this almost kind of like, it's almost like a full circle of, hang on a minute here, Lidl could complete my barbecue Saturday afternoon drinking habits in the garden. Like the barbecue, pop to Lidl, pick up some Stouts, pick up some Pilsners, pick up some Weiss beer, pick up some Magic Rock Pale Ale. All of a sudden, with a swing of the bat, a little bit of clever marketing nouns from Lidl, you're thinking to yourself, I can drink good beers at a really decent, cheap price. And I think that's flipping brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I really do. This couple of, the last few beer reviews on YouTube being from Harbour, Magic Rock, Thornbridge and 4 Pure Brewing Company. The 4 Pure and the Harbour, for me, I probably wouldn't buy again. But on a personal level, on a personal drinking level, this is an absolute game changer for me. Absolute game changer. I got my Weiss beer, I got my Pilsner, I got my Stout, and I've got my Pale Ales. All under one roof. Fantastic. If you're in a position where you can support a bottle shop, then please support a bottle shop. I'll always put that message across. But for me right now, where I am in my life, I'm quite content with buying my craft beer in Lidl. Maybe one day I'll be able to afford to shop in Marks and Spencer's. But you know, for now, it's Lidl. But I quite like Lidl. What's not to like about Lidl? That is a terrific stout. I am made up that Lidl have, over the last 2 years, experimented. For me, it makes sense now. Their craft beer festivals were a learning process. They were learning about what sticks to a wall. Because they got the data, haven't they? They know what sells, what doesn't sell. So they've gone to reputable companies like Magic Rock and Thornbridge, and they've gone, can you brew a chocolate stout? We know that sells. And they said to Magic Rock, can you produce a pretty decent pale ale for £1.79 a can? And they've proved that sells as well. And wow. Okay, we might have been experimented on with Lidl's craft beer festivals. It was a really good journey. It was a really good experiment. But hey, yeah, that's worked, hasn't it? That's worked out tidy. Because now we have some decent beer, some decent stout and IPA, pale ale, pardon me, on the shelves of Lidl. For me, I'm going to rate this. I like that. I think it's really good, solid chocolate stout for the money. 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. Stone the Crows. 9 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.